Coach, Nebraska's record in recent years aside, Lincoln, Nebraska can be a very tough place to play, very large crowd, very involved. What are you expecting in terms of atmosphere, especially given the energy surrounding the coaching change, and how do you prepare for it?
Yeah, I think people will be on edge, and I think there'll be a lot of emotion in the stadium. And I know this, when I've had my back against the wall in this profession, I feel like I've always responded, and the pressure has brought out the best in me. And so that, to me, is what you'll see, from a Nebraska team. I think they've had 13 one-score games, in the last year. And they've done a nice job recruiting good players. They've got good schemes. And, they've first couple of games this year, they've had some tough moments right at the end of the game. It happens. So this is a team that's incredibly capable, talented, tough. Again, good schemes, put them in good position. They got quality players on both sides of the ball that can play with anybody. So we expect their best. Expect a great atmosphere, one that where they've circled the wagons and galvanized and play inspired, all of those things. That's what we expect.
Yeah, Brent, you played against Nebraska in the glory days, coached against them, forever. I know you're not on the inside, but as an outsider who's had Nebraska experience, you got any explanation on what's happened to him?
No, I don't. It doesn't take much to be on the wrong side of it. That's all I would say. Obviously, since they went to the Big Ten, I've followed them a lot less. And my memories really go to the competitions that we've had there. I think we lost 10-3 last time we were there. I think we had 5 turnovers on offense. And 2009 is when that was, and we played them in 2010 in the Big 12 championship. So my memories go back from the Kansas State and Oklahoma days, and then the last X number of years. I just haven't, really been as in tune. I do know they've played really competitive. Watching their season from a year ago, just snake bit for whatever reason, whether it's injuries or just timing standpoint, just being on the wrong side of it. And there's no one thing or person I would expect to point a finger to. But they've done a good job of, again, foundationally, they haven't been far away, in most of their games. They've been right there.
You weren't too far from Lincoln when you were a pup, right? 2-hour drive.
Yep.
Was Husker football on your radar at all as a player?
Obviously, I wasn't good enough. I grew up in the 90s now, right? Late 80s, 90s, I don't know. I never thought of myself like I was good enough like that. And I was right. I found my spot. I wasn't good enough at K-State either, but somehow I found a hole in the fence. So, no, I always looked at Nebraska like, I'm David and that's Goliath. Like, had that type of mindset, like, man, these whole nother planet where these guys are from. And they were. And so, that's how I always just looked up to them like that, but everybody has their spot. I had a good perspective of where I was as a player, but just always have had admiration and respect. Coach Osborne is as classiest, one of the classiest coaches to ever coach in the game, and the program, and everything that it represented: strength, toughness, power, speed, just excellence, and consistency for such a long period of time. So really, and then when you go there, Lincoln is a really again, a lot of pride in the community, certainly on that campus, and very clean. Everything is just spotless, which it's a cool thing, so yeah, I grew up, we pit stop going to ground with Grandpa's, we'd pull over and we'd jump in the cornfield. We'd load up on some corn. I guess that's stealing, but I thought it was free because there was no store and no signs. But that's what we did. We got us some sweet corn. So.
Very different vein with Mickey Joseph. I don't know where this might have begun, but where does your familiarity
familiarity with him begin over all the years you both spent coaching?
Yeah, well, I know the name. I've not met him and had like any kind of conversation with him. So he got a great reputation in the profession, doing things the right way as a coach, as a recruiter, relationship guy, very well respected in the profession. Obviously, that I know that Nebraska means a great deal to him, for obvious reasons. And, I know he's very well thought of on and off the field. Got a great reputation.
Coach, you mentioned a few times in the offseason about how you have a lot of players that haven't taken a snap at OU, and now they have now. But that also probably means they haven't played any big games, atmosphere-wise, on the road, kind of like Nebraska coming up. So someone like you, that stresses preparedness and being ready for everything. How can you prepare for something like that? Or do you have to just be in it to kind of get that experience?
No, I think you got to go through it. You talk them through it. You create a vision for it. So there's nothing like being in it, but we got to do a great job of mentally getting them ready for it. And again, focus on us, focus on Oklahoma, being inside out, control what we can control. And again, I've always had this. You got to play great on defense in the kicking game. Obviously, don't make things easy on them from a turnover standpoint. And you take the crowd out of the game by playing well. You want to have the kind of environment that you like. You got to play well. So that helps you as well. But again, really making it about us more than anything. But you don't want to surprise them either. So educating them as well, whether you're piping in the sound for practice and how to operate and things of that nature.
Okay, two more. We'll go to Austin Curtright and Curtis Fitzpatrick. Austin.
Brent, you've obviously talked about it a little bit, but you were coaching the last time OU was in Lincoln in that 2009 game. Just what do you remember from that game overall? I mean, lots of defense on a whole lot of offense. Just obviously Dom Kent and Prince Mukamara. Andrews, was a freshman. Just what do you remember from that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, they had an amazing defense. I think our offense, we had done pretty well. We just kept turning the ball over. But Nebraska's really good, on defense, and we were really good on defense as well. So I think they had under a couple hundred yards, and our offense had a little over 300, but we had 5 turnovers. So that's a recipe for L, and we lost 10-3. If I remember, it's 10-3, right?
Yeah.
And it's just a tough environment. But, man, you get so into the game and the play and the alignment and the execution, or lack of, once the game starts, everything goes really like white noise quiet. That's how it's always been for me. So, but I always take 30 seconds to, check it out. Like, all right, this is what it is. So, like I said, it's full. Their fans are very loyal, very passionate, very similar to here. For the longest time they had and I don't know if it still holds true, but they had maybe the most consecutive sellouts of anybody in college football. Does that still hold true? It's still.
Yeah, it's still
What is it?
It started like 63.
Yeah. How many games? That's crazy. Is that crazy? That's cool though. I mean, that's super cool. I'm a loyalist, and that's what it looks like. And even through some tough moments. I don't know. I wasn't here in the 90s when we had gone maybe 4 years without going to a bowl game. Was it full? Was every okay? So the only reason I say that is not to throw that in our own face, but that's probably more like what most places would be like. Oh, we're not going if we ain't winning, right? But there, they're still going to show up, right? So that's pretty cool. That's uncommon.
You didn't know it at the time that they were going to Big Ten. Is it weird looking back knowing that game maybe didn't get a proper send-off, maybe the way that rivalry?
I don't know. We gave them the proper send-off in championship game. It's one way to look at it. I'm not being whatever. I'm not like cocky. I'm not like that. But that is what happened. So.
By the way, Brent, I think Saturday will be
amazing. That's a lot, right? And you said it's in 63? Yeah, that's that's awesome. So that's to me, that's like be able to go compete, coach, whatever in that environment. You know, that's a talk about a cool moment. That's if you love the game, you know, that's what it's about.
For more information, you can visit TulsaWorld.com.